Welcome back, Kris Krohn here, and today we're talking about how to make lots and lots of money in the game of real estate investing with properties that have problems with liens. Could be a tax lien, an involuntary lien, a mechanics lien, or something different. If you're interested in making the most amount of money and saving the most amount of time, there's a software that you need to know about. We live in a high-tech world. Real estate is a low-tech game. And in-house, I've got my friend Burton. He's in from PropStream. He's joining me from California. He's out there rocking it in real estate out there, but his company that he works with has created a national data source all across the United States of the very best deals. And their software, I've negotiated a deal where they're making it free to you. What we're going to do today is actually show you how to do a search in your area to find someone that has a lien, may get forced into foreclosure if they don't get taken care of, has equity in the home, and needs someone to come in and buy that property. We're going to show you how to actually work that deal. So,
absolutely,
let's make it happen, Burton.
All right, so let's take a look at Salt Lake City here. And when we search Salt Lake City in general, we have over 2,400 involuntary liens recorded, but we're going to siphon through that.
Yeah, because I don't know about you, but in your area, when you actually log in and you use your free account that you can get right after this video, it's in the link below, you're going to actually follow this exact same search. It's going to automatically pull up your area. And if we got 2,400 liens, it's helpful to actually know that. But I don't want to call 2,400 people.
Correct.
So how do we take 2,400 and turn it to like the best 20 people or the best 5 people that we could call?
Absolutely, and I'm going to give you some pointers, so we might want to write this down. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start off by determining whether we want a property that's owner occupied or not. For me, I like owner occupied. It prevents me from having to chase where the owner may potentially be. List type, so we're going to filter through all of our liens, and then for property type, we're going to do single family, anything between 3 to 5 bedrooms.
That's kind of my normal search, is I like to be in that 3-bedroom to 5-bedroom range, and then maybe like 1 bath to 2 bathroom range.
And we're going to do that, 1 to 2 bathroom range. Now the next step is MLS status. Now this is important for me. What I like to do is I like to look for liens, involuntary liens, that are not yet on the market. So I'm going to specify that I want results that are not on market. Reason for that is I want to make sure that the property owner hasn't reached out to a broker yet.
So guys, we know that this is what Burton's saying. We got someone that has a problem. They've got a property. We're going to find out that they have equity, and they need to solve that in a very short period of time. And we know that because it's not listed on the market yet, that they don't have a solution, which means they're waiting for someone to come into their life and say, okay, I get it. You owe this money. I can help you fix that. Here's how we're going to do it.
Absolutely. So once we specify that it's off market, the next thing I like to do is specify ownership info. I usually like to hunt down individuals, right? And again, a lot of them don't know the solutions or don't know their options. So I'll look for individuals. The next step I can do is I can specify the lien amount. So I can specify the type of lien I'm looking for or the minimum lien amount recorded against the property. So I like to start off at a minimum of $5,000.
Because that'll get someone motivated.
Correct, and then I can search for either tax liens, HOA, mechanicals, and utilities. So for me, I like to do the tax liens.
Tax liens have to be solved depending on where you live in a certain time frame in a lot of areas. If you have a tax lien and you don't clean it up in 90 days, for example, then it starts a pre-foreclosure process on the property, which means this person that lives there is going to lose their home if they don't find a solution.
Absolutely. Next step is we can do an estimated value of the property. So in this situation, I'm looking for properties that are up to $250,000. And the most important, but last step I like to look for is equity percentage. And so, Kris, what percentage do you think you want to start with today?
I always look for a minimum of 20% to make a deal work. But for fun, let's have some kicks and giggles, kicks and giggles, giggles and kicks. We're going to go for some giggles and kicks, and let's go for 30%.
30%. All right. So now we're going to hit apply. And what we've done, ladies and gentlemen, is we've now isolated 7 properties of the 2,400 involuntaries that are single family, not on the market. They had 30% in equity, and they owe at least a minimum of $6,000 or more in tax lien.
So check it out. I want you to understand what's happening right now. Literally in a matter of a couple minutes with the free software that you can have, This is so incredible. Burton has just taken this down from 2,496 people with liens. And he said, I'm looking for homes with equity. I'm looking for homes with at least a 30% equity position. They have a lien. They got to get that satisfied. It's not on the market yet. They haven't actually listed it with a realtor, with a broker, and we know that they need a solution. So let's actually take a look, because we've narrowed it down to 7, which is actually freaking amazing. And let's see what we find here with these 7.
Right. And this one's actually a really good one. It has a photo on there. So let's take a look at 822 West Monch. So what we know here, it's a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath. We know Bryce owns the property. We see his property characteristics, HOA information, site information, last sale information, including his mortgage information.
You know everything that you can possibly pull. And what does he owe?
So right now, based on the mortgage information we have, we've been able to reverse calculate his minimum payment. So he's sitting on a balance of $132,000 with a $13,000 lien. So if we were to add that together, he owes roughly about $150,000. However, here's the good thing. The average comps right now, we have 10 comps within a half-mile radius that our system has identified. And they're saying that the average comp price is $237. So there's a lot of margin to play with.
So basically, that's this top right number, that $87,000. It's basically saying if you were to buy this house for what he owes and what his lien is, there would still be about $87,000 of equity on this property. Absolutely. You could go to him and say, hey, I see you got that going on. Do you have a solution? No, I went to the bank and I couldn't this and I couldn't that. I think I might have to sell my property. Hey, what if I came in and actually purchased that property? I could actually buy your property for, $200,000. And he's going to save, he might think his property's worth 180, he might think it's worth 240, but you're basically coming in saying, you don't have to pay realtor fees, you don't have to pay those normal selling fees. You're buying this home, guys, $37,000 potentially below market. You're getting a great deal on it. You're solving a problem for him. He's walking away with the pile of equity. His problem is solved. And there's so many other ways that you could actually solve problems on this property. This is just one of them. In fact, this system is so versatile. It has ways of finding deals in so many different ways. This is just one of them right now. And it's hot and it's pretty amazing.
Absolutely.
So we basically narrowed it down. I can take the next hour, I can call these 7 people, and I'm probably dealing collectively with over $500,000 in potential profit. So guys, that's doing real estate in a super profitable way. I've actually worked a deal with PropStream. I said, hey, I want to get this to my clients for less than anyone else on the market can get it for, and I want a free trial. I want them to go ahead and test drive this. I know that I'm going to be using my PropStream account for life on all of my deals because, hey, the moment you sign up with a realtor, you've signed up. And that doesn't mean that realtors are bad or shouldn't work with them. I'm just letting you know that you've signed up for something. It's an expensive tax that unknowledgeable people have to pay. You don't have to pay that tax when you have access to this information because that's what you're really utilizing an agent for. Now you can get access to the very best deals at the click of a finger. There's just one more thing I want to show today. Yes, you can go to the link. Yes, you can actually go and start your free trial version of it right now. But I want to ask, if I like my search and I want to know, is there a way that without doing more work, I can now just get an email notification every time a new deal like this comes on the market?
Kris, you read my mind, and absolutely. In our system, once you applied a filter, we have a Save Search button located at the top right. And what this will allow you to do is name it. So we can call this the Kris Tax Lien List. All right, and we can, right below that, add our details to remind us what we were looking for. So off market, minimum $6,000 against the property. We even have the ability to replace any of these boxes. So if you don't use the MLS box, for example, you can now replace it with your own criteria.
Oh, that's awesome. That's sweet.
But most importantly, the last step here is the notification process. So our system can email you immediately at the end of the day or at the end of the week if your results change. So today, after I saved my search, we had 7 results. If tomorrow, the next 2 days, 3 more results populate, I don't even have to be on the system to get an email notification.
Guys, this is what this means. You can utilize this system to basically find motivated buyers. You don't have to go down the tax lien approach. It could be new properties that hit the market. It could be pre-market. It could be foreclosures. It could be auctions. You basically just set a search, and then that active search will give you leads that you can do to make a pile of money with. But you also have the ability to save it and be done and just say, hey, you know what? Set it and forget it. Just send me my emails from my 3 different property search types. And when you find a property with 50% equity and they're going to list it for way under market, or this is going to happen, notify me. And then guess what? You have now this machine going to work for you, and all you have to do is just wait for the lead to come in and freaking rock it once it does. Friends, it doesn't get better, it doesn't get easier than this. Listen, you got to go back to the owners and just let them know again how much I love them. I love this system. This is the coolest solution in the whole real estate arena, and we've negotiated something free for you guys. Take advantage of it. If you're serious about the game of real estate and winning in life, this is the way to do it.